question to
Many things change. Bola Tinubu, in my opinion, as a person judging, does not have the mental and physical capacity to govern today. That changed. I was there in 1999 and made choices. I could have been on the Obasanjo side. I wasn't against Obasanjo, but I wanted to see a Lagos well governed. And we've been in this struggle, Nadeko, Abiola, together. I thought, let that passion go into governing Lagos. Many years, I don't want Nigeria to be another Toure, Yaradua scenario, where we're struggling between Sheyi and Remi Tinubu. This country has gone through too much that is wrong for us to know the truth and pretend that we can manage it. It's not right.
All right. Okay, so
why Peter Obi?
Yes, sir.
Peter Obi was found by the people in a series of remarks that embodied a sense of the new Nigeria that they were looking for. And I think that he then presented a good vehicle to birth a new way of doing things in Nigeria. And I know him enough to know that there are issues of character that make me comfortable. The issues of sacrifice in his life, because we need to sacrifice to advance the common good of all.
All right, Barrister, you heard him. That was Professor Pat Utomi. Excuse me. Now, the purpose of this, of me playing this video is about what he said at the beginning of the video, where he said that Bola Tinubu lacks the mental capacity to govern. I'll ask you, do you believe that Bola Tinubu lacks the mental capacity? Where we are talking here, mental capacity. I need you to focus on that. Does Bola Tinubu lack the mental capacity to govern?
Well, it's as simple as you present the question. It's not that simple, because you don't need only the mental capacity to govern. You need total capacity, which includes mental, physical, and what I can call policy capacity. So it is not just mentally.
We are talking. Hold on, Barrister.
Mentally,
hold on.
I believe
we are talking based on what Pat Utomi. Now we picked that. We want to talk on the context of what Pat Utomi said on that video. Of course, we all know that to govern, you need all the conglomerate of
capacities.
Yes, there's no doubt about that.
Mentally, I believe he's capable, because the mental aspect of it is not much in governance. That's the truth. Even if you are sick, you can still govern. Even if you are afraid, you can still govern. But the other things are what impedes the actual performance in office. If you are on your sick bed, believe me, you can govern to a certain extent. If you already have in place policies and projections which your subordinates, which your aides, which you have killed, your aides and appointees have already killed into it. That's what is division of labor. The president does not do everything. In fact, he is supposed to not do much. Memos are brought. And if you already have your aides and subordinates, appointees, ministers, good and competent ones, who have keyed into your policies, into your direction of governance, the rest will be easy for you. But when you do not have, one, sincerity of purpose, two, the nationalism of purpose, by which I mean whatever is contrary to the interests of Nigeria, whether from your friends, from your associates, from foreign powers, you will reject it. If you don't have these issues, your capacity becomes meaningless. This is what we are facing today. I do not trust President Tinubu to have the best interests of Nigeria at heart. So the issue of his capacity, mental or otherwise, becomes less important, because you must first have the direction and the nationalism to take the country in the right direction before you can talk of before your capacity, mental or otherwise, will be important. I do not believe he possesses that. But mentally, I can see him, he seems to be mentally able to govern.
Yeah, okay. I think I agree with you on that, sort of, because when I had Pat Utomi talked about this man is Pat Utomi is a professor, for God's sake. For him to say that Bola Tinubu does not have the mental capacity to govern, it didn't make sense to me, because the truth, just like you said, you noted, Bola Tinubu has all the mental, he's in his right frame of mind. He knows what he is doing. And in my own opinion, in my own not assumption, my own conclusion is that he knows what he's doing. Even the policies, he knows that even some of the things that he's doing, he knows that some of them are evil, are against the Nigerian interest. So he is in all the decisions he's making, the steps he's taking, the actions, he does that, he has done that, and he's doing that in his right frame of mind. Because when you say someone does not have the mental capacity, that means the person is not in his right frame of mind. So Bola Tinubu is saying he's doing well, as well, because the truth is, yeah, during the presidential campaign, 2023 presidential campaign, we all never thought, we thought that Bola Tinubu was mentally spent. We thought that he was incoherent with his speech then. So he was medically and mentally, physically and mentally not stable. So we had all those concerns. But I don't know, they seem to be happening. We talked about this in briefly. There seems to be something, a magic that takes place in Aso Rock, except that such magic didn't happen in the life of the late Umar Musa Yaradua. Otherwise, I wanted to, if not for the Musa Yaradua's scenario, I would have just thought that it's actually a power in that Aso Rock that actually revives and rejuvenates any sick person who becomes a president, because we know Bola Tinubu was just like, what's his name? Buhari had the same experience prior to him entrenching presidency. He was sick, and everybody, we never thought that Buhari will survive 6 months of his administration. Not to talk of 8 years, and now he's even looking younger and fresher and more relaxed than he was prior to him becoming the elected president. And now Tinubu, we're having the same issue with him, the same scenario where, because I don't know, you watched the last interview he had with about 6 top journalists or whatever. Tinubu was very coherent, very, very coherent, very consistent, and it was, I never saw, since the campaign, I never saw Tinubu as physically and mentally alert and vibrant as I saw him that day. So he was looking fresh, he was looking younger or whatever. So Tinubu is in his right frame of mind. There's no doubt about that. Only that everything, as I said, everything he's doing it. He knows that these things are hurting us, and he does not care. That is the part of that is what, because when someone is doing something, he's not ignorant of what he or she is doing. He's not ignorant of the result and the repercussion of this thing. That means, and yet he or she is still doing that. It means that person is evil. That's just it. And that's who and what Bola Tinubu personifies. He is evil because everything he's doing all these things are hurt. His policies, his actions, his corruption is hurting the Nigerian populace and Nigerian nation. Yet he keeps doing it, and he doesn't give a damn. He doesn't care about it. That means he doesn't care about the repercussion. That means, by default, he's an evil man. So, in my conclusion, Bola Tinubu is just simply an evil man who actually has all the mental capacity, mental capability and capacity to govern well. The only thing is that he does not have other capabilities or capacities, rather. He lacks other capacities. In fact, the capacity that we say we lack, he actually has those capacities. But he deliberately wouldn't apply those capacities. Because one of the capacity is political will. He has those. The truth is that Tinubu has all those capacities. But the problem is that he's deliberately ignoring those capacities because those capacities does not speak to his personal interest, which is his focus anyway.